We mentioned training in section 4.3 as an example of the structured organizational support provided to you. Training is also a mandatory risk management measure for all vulnerable youth serving programs, including mentorship programs. If you missed a mandatory training session, you should not be placed, even if there's a long wait list for mentors and you're eager to launch yourself into mentoring. Working in structured mentorship without proper training can expose you, your mentee, and your organization to unnecessary risks. Upon the formal engagement with the organization, you're likely to be asked to sign a confidentiality agreement. Because of your role as mentor, you may be privileged to some sensitive information about your mentees or their families. You should abide by the rules set out in the confidentiality agreement. Employees of your supporting organization, your caseworker, for example, have also signed confidentiality agreements to not disclose information about their client. This means you can feel comfortable sharing information about your mentee with them because you both have promised to keep it confidential. The same likely holds true with employees within referring organizations, but check with your caseworker to be on the safe side. We listed all the pertinent paperwork of a mentoring program in section 4.4. Keeping a good record of your mentoring meetings is not only helpful for you and your caseworker to track the progress of your mentees and the development of your relationship with them, but it could also provide a form of protection for you and your organization should anything go wrong. If an incident occurs when you and your mentee are together, you should document it. Better still, document it using your organization's incident report form and submit a copy to your caseworker as soon as possible. When you are working with youth who are most vulnerable to involvement in violence and crime, you should expect that the organization will provide you with a work phone to use when communicating with your mentees and their parents and guardians. You should not provide your private phone numbers to your mentees until you have reached the point of redefining the relationship with them. That will generally happen at the end of the formal mentoring relationship. You can find details about that in Module 9. A work phone allows you to set good boundaries with your mentees. They're not supposed to get a phone number that would allow them to reach you 24/7. You should clearly let your mentees know that they can call you between such and such times, and beyond the set timing, your phone switches off automatically, and you should stick to that time boundary consistently. Speaking of boundaries, boundaries are probably the most critical risk management measure that a mentor should adhere to in order to protect everyone involved in the mentoring relationship. The mindset of clear and firm boundaries should underline all steps of a mentoring relationship and are reflected in many of the other risk management practices we mentioned earlier on, such as training and documentation. Check the Keeping Professional Boundaries, Do's and Don'ts for Vulnerable Youth Mentors in the next section for details.